Ramble.
Thank you to Third Love, BetterHelp, Bowl & Branch, and Little Passports for sponsoring today's episode. Welcome to Guilty Pleasures, the show that loves what it loves. Today, we're talking about Netflix's The Princess Switch, starring Vanessa Hudgens. That's right, we're keeping this holiday train moving as we begin our gentle march towards the end of the year. The sun is setting earlier, everything's depressing, but guess what, motherfuckers? We got Christmas movies and twinkling lights. Kelsey, Garrick, how you feeling today?
I'm fucking pumped for Christmas shit, holiday shit injected into my veins.
I'm feeling solid. I'm solid, feeling pretty good.
He's drinking.
Oh, wow.
This movie drove Garrick back into whiskeying during this podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't get too much further into this podcast. I can't hide it, so I'm not even going to try to. This movie, like many Christmas movies for me, it's like just a warm bowl of soup, and it put me into it just sedated me. It put me into this warm, cozy place, and as soon as this movie was done, I took a nap, and I woke up about 3 minutes before recording this.
Oh.
I'm wiping the sleep off of me, but I'm a little bit sleepy. I'm a little bit cozy.
Okay.
I'm ready to snuggle.
Yeah, there's something about a princess story that makes you want to go to bed. That's all I know.
The Princess and the Pea, she slept.
Yeah. Princess Diaries.
Sleeping Beauty. She slept.
Princesses love napping. That's all. I mean, look,
that's
they
how they're
love
so hot.
All naps. I think so. I think that's how they get rid of all their smile lines and crow's feet is they just spend their time napping.
They love generational wealth and naps.
Yeah. They love rich boys and naps.
Who
doesn't?
I love a good wrinkle. I don't know. Contrary to, I don't know where this whole thing came about, where it's just like, I'm going to pump shit into my... Not shit. I'm sorry.
Are you out of your mind?
Nah, I love
Sequoia's skin is like a fucking, like a statue. Like she belongs in a museum.
It's very porcelain, and I cannot wait to watch her get old. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was so cute. I know you meant wrinkly, but I took that as cute.
Yeah.
Garrick says that he likes wrinkles because he's with someone who has the luxury of a single wrinkle, and it's like, oh wow, look at that wrinkle.
I watched myself age. I'll never forget. It was a day during COVID where I like looked in the mirror and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like there was a day where my eyes dropped and they just created this line and it's never gone away and it's COVID.
Kelsey had that
COVID
scene
wrinkles.
in the Santa Claus where Tim Allen goes to shave and then whoosh, his beard comes back.
Movie.
Yeah.
But
yes, I also got a beard.
You got a beard?
No, I got a beard too. Yep.
Damn, God damn.
Well, let's talk about The Princess Switch, which, contrary to popular belief, is not a Lifetime movie. It is just a Lifetime-style Netflix film. I'm going to hit us with the synopsis. We're going to get into it. We're going to do the damn thing because I have a lot about this plot that I want to talk about, want to talk through. So let's just fucking do it, gang.
Shall we? Give us the fucking.
I'm into it.
It's just the title, right? That's the.
It's essentially in the spirit of great films before it, like The Parent Trap and my personal fave, Mary-Kate and Ashley's It Takes Motherfucking Two. You have Vanessa Hudgens as a baker. She goes to the wonderful European Christmas town of Belgravia.
I told you in the last podcast, everything in Europe is Christmas. So, I'm just saying.
He's right.
Here we are again.
It's Belgium.
We've got cobblestone.
It's Brussels.
Again, Europe, Christmas. There's nothing you can get
Christmas
around.
Shops.
Christmas shops. It's snowing. All
glog.
of that shit. Glog.
You ever had
whatever
glog?
that is.
That shit's weird. It's mulled wine. It's like night wine. Not night like the time of day. Like
night. Like the swords. Yeah, like
night. Yes.
Real quick, because I now feel like an uncultured idiot.
Have you never been to Europe during Christmas time?
I just assumed that Belgravia was a made up place like Genovia. Okay, thank God.
100%.
Oh, thank God.
But the same way Montenegro,
an idiot.
But it was
is
in
Montenegro.
Belgium.
Yeah, it's like 100%.
Okay.
This is what Europe looks like everywhere.
All the time.
Including London,
every season.
Sweden, Germany.
Yep.
Vanessa Hudgens is Stacey DeNovio, baker extraordinaire, and she gets invited to Belgravia with her BFF Kevin and his adorable daughter. There, Vanessa discovers that the princess-to-be looks exactly like her. And so they decide to switch places because the princess-to-be wants to know what the real world's like, and Stacy, I guess, doesn't have anything better to do. They switch places. They fall in love with each other's people. What's gonna happen? This is the princess switch. Guys, this movie is just fucking comforting as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
It is a spoonful of peppermint and marshmallows and Santa Claus right to the fucking face.
It
has everything a good Christmas movie has.
Yeah.
Love.
Yep.
Running into each other at a toy store. Antics. An uppity fucking king that doesn't want his son to be happy. A plain face Europe man that could also be in the Renaissance like we talked about last week.
The plainest faced European man. It's just unbelievable.
But
it really just hits all the beats.
Yeah, and baking. And a great Belgian bake-off, I guess we would call it. But I thought it's so weird that because he didn't have the sideburns, I was like, oh, this guy's handsome. Like, immediately, I was like, oh, that's, I guess the mutton chops is what's throwing me off whenever I see like a plain face British guy or a plain face European guy. So.
Somewhere I think that is worth to start is acknowledging that yes, this is It Takes Two. This is The Parent Trap. This is
The Prince and the Pauper.
Princess Diaries.
No,
it's the exact. First of all, Garrick, how dare you? The original
Diaries.
is It Takes Two. So okay, show some respect where respect is.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
No. I was about to say, Prince and the Pauper is like a book, like an ancient book.
So, you give Mary Kay and Ashley some respect.
You're right.
But look, you're listening to this and you go, I've seen this movie, and the answer is, yeah, you have, and that's part of, I think, the joy of it.
Right, is that you don't really have to pay attention at all. It's just like, I know this story, I know where it's gonna end up. Take me along for the ride, Vanessa Hudgens. Let's go.
Yeah, listen, I'm devastated that this was written by not just one but two women, because you could basically guess the entire plot from the title of the fucking movie. But I told the boys this. I watched this with 4 other grown adult people who are not in the entertainment industry, and they were calling the beats before they happened. They were like, oh, she's gonna fall in love with him. Oh, they're gonna get in a fight. Oh, he's gonna be a spy. Oh, she's not gonna be able to go to the baking competition, and then last minute switcheroo, the climax is gonna happen when she's at the baking competition. Oh, he's gonna come to it. Was like offensively simple, but I don't know why we all fucking loved this movie.
You love it because sometimes you just want to turn your brain off and watch some people fall in love. And also, I want to say everybody calling out the beats, like all of those guys in that room, they have bad taste in women. Because if you're truly watching the movie, you're not paying attention to anything else other than the fact that Vanessa Hudgens is just so fucking cute. It is ridiculous. The whole time
so
I'm just
goddamn
like,
doe eyes. Like,
it's just huge eyes.
I was like, wait, how is she hotter with a British accent?
Right. How is she hotter with shorter hair? Like immediately.
Never happens.
I'm like that. It does. Often. If I see Charlize Theron with long hair, I'm like, cut it off. Anyway.
Get away from me.
But anyway, like, yeah, she's just super cute, and I'm like fumbling over my words because I didn't even know I had a crush on this girl. I had watched most of the things. I'd watched like, we watched High School Musical. I've seen her go about her day throughout Twitter and all of her antics and all of that stuff. But I don't know what it was in this movie. It really, really did it for me.
Can I tell you something, Garrick, that's going to make you a little jelly?
What's that?
When we all worked at BuzzFeed, we had a studio across the street from BuzzFeed studio that was home of what used to be the Busy Phillips show, RIP. And one day I was walking like during lunch, and I saw they were filming a segment at the Busy Phillips show, and they were on the street, and I was like, oh shit, I'm walking right towards them. They're gonna ask me to do a segment, and I'm in my sports bra, whatever. Let's go. Let's show America my nipples. So they pull, and they're like, hey, will you be in this segment? And we're like, yeah, sure. They're like, it's a fashion thing. Like, you're just gonna rate fashion looks from this year's whatever. And I was like, great. And so they show me a bunch, and they're like, what about this one? What about this one? I'm like, oh yeah, great. Oh, like no. And they're like, what about Vanessa Hudgens? And I was like, oh, I love her. She's stunning. She's great. And then motherfucking Vanessa Hudgens popped out of the door and surprised us and was like, hi. And we were like, ah. And she's as nice and cute and smooth skin in real life as she is in this film. And her teeth are like...
Her skin is too smooth, and her eyes are so big and doughy, and what gives her the goddamn right?
What gives her the right?
I similarly didn't know that I had a crush on her until I watched this movie, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I do now, and that's just not fair.
What are you guys, blind?
No, but
I just don't think much of her, and I know that she says stupid stuff, and like I didn't want to know this about myself, but here we are, and that's fine.
We're not in her like orbit of content, I want to say.
Fair.
I feel like
I see her a lot more than you guys do, probably.
Yeah, I see her rarely, and then when I watched this movie, I was like, God damn! Like I had no idea. That
okay, but wait, can I ask a for real question?
Yeah.
And you guys have to answer this honestly, and this is part of it. It's like, does her being in this kind of movie, this Lifetime simpleton film, make her hotter or not her? Like, do you want her to fucking... It makes her seem
more accessible. And that is a little fucked up for me to say, but I truly looked... I was just like, I wonder how many followers on Instagram she has. She probably has like 10,000 or something. I can slide. Like that type of...
You thought Vanessa Hudgens had 10,000 followers on Instagram?
Off of the movie. And that's just me. That's like...
It's not like she's a B character from like Mean Girls. She is the fucking Lindsay Lohan.
Disney famous is the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing you don't even understand, Garrick. Like Disney stars who you don't even think are anybody are 50
Ariana
times
Grande.
bigger than any of us will ever be.
But this is me. This is me thinking about the movie and the movie alone, not like... Vanessa Hudgens as the name and her career and all that stuff. It's just like based off of the movie. If I walked in and I saw this movie on, I had no idea who Vanessa Hudgens was. And I just was like, let me just see how many followers on Instagram she has. And I saw 47 million. I'd be like, who the fuck is this person? Why is she doing these roles?
Sequoia, if you're listening, we are so sorry.
Yeah. Objectively, Sequoia is a better looking person.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, Sequoia is perfect. Every time I open my Instagram and Sequoia's on my feed, I go,
it's ridiculous.
And I feel like wind blow through my hair.
I'm trying to make sure that if she does get 47 million
let's talk about Vanessa Hudgens in this movie, because if you want to watch an old Disney star saunter into the role of playing the fun trope of playing herself and her British twin. It's always a British twin. But for this time, the twist is watching someone absolutely not nail either role. Well, then this is the movie for you. Because she just is just not good. And that's just so wonderful to watch. Guys, life is stressful. There's no way about it, and the holidays are coming up. You're gonna be spending time with your family, seeing old friends, maybe old feelings are gonna come up. It is helpful to have someone to talk to, which is why I love BetterHelp. I use BetterHelp. I find it immensely useful. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You get to connect in a safe and private online environment. It's so convenient. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. You can find licensed professional counselors who specialize in depression, anger, stress, anxiety, LGBT matters, relationships, and so much more. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. So many people are using BetterHelp. They're recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. We want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/guiltypleasures. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. BetterHelp.com/guiltypleasures.
You guys thought she was bad in this?
As a British person?
Okay, one of my pleasures was how good of a job she did at faking being bad at a British accent as
but then
the girl
when she
playing
wasn't the person
the one faking an
the
accent.
British
I was
accent
like,
and just having a British accent, that was also bad.
we don't know Montenegro or what's it called. Montenegro isn't in,
I think it's
Montero.
Lil Nas X's real name, Montero.
Okay,
That's where she's from.
Yeah.
In this, yeah.
but
we don't know that
here's
it
the other
maybe it's not
thing,
British.
is that
I don't know.
I wasn't. If I'm being truthfully honest, whenever Americans put on British accents, I never can tell if the accent is bad because I am American and I'm the one they're trying to fool, not British people. I just hear them and I'm just like, oh, they're British now. I guess that's how they talk. He.
I'm going to go a step further. I think every single person in this movie sounded like they were doing a fake British accent, including people that I think might actually be British. The dad who's King George. Are you fucking kidding me? They couldn't come up with a better name than King George.
Nope.
But he's like, I don't know why I went fucking
Southern like gambler, like Leonardo DiCaprio into Django Unchained.
Kentucky Fried Colonel.
Most British people will say this. They'll tell you there is not a single American who can do a proper British accent, but all British actors can do American accents.
It's easy to do.
But why is it not easy the other way around?
And then there's also the aspect that our accent came from theirs. We sound like a really stripped down version of them. So I guess if they just like slow their roll a little bit and position their tongue a different way, they can get to an American accent eventually. Whereas we would have to work our way up to sound like them. That's my theory.
I'm thinking about Vanessa Hudgens in this, and it's really like hand in hand with the script, right? And the thing, it's such a first draft pass of the twin swap movie. Like, we have this montage of watching them switch, and it's like, oh, we're gonna do a goofy montage and laugh, but it's just them walking back and forth, and then them going. And they're walking, and they're fucking walking for 2 minutes. But we slap on a little Christmas song, and it's a little montage, and honestly, it feels good, and I don't care. And I was thinking to your point, Kelsey, about how this is like your friends were just guessing, right? You're just guessing. And I don't know that this movie is written stupidly. It's just written in a way that attention is optional. And I think that that's a pleasure in and of itself, right? The movie catches you up. It reminds you of the plot. It tells you what you missed. And then it just gives you these scenes where it goes, go refill your hot cocoa. We'll be here. Don't worry about it. You're not going to miss anything.
It is the pop music of movies.
It's the junk food
We've
of
all
movies.
seen those YouTube
it's the
videos
cupcake.
of a guy, of a guy playing chords and then putting it in different tempos and being like, this is this pop song, blah, 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 blah. It's just like there are a set of chords that you need to hit in order to make things catchy. Same thing with this. It's like we're hitting all of the beats that you need to make me pay attention, but also have a good time and blah, blah, blah. You don't need anything else, really. Everything else is just like icing on the top of a cake.
It tickles me to think about why this got so popular, because I remember people like tweeting about this when it came out and like loving it.
Adores it.
And again, it's in an ironic way that it's like just a feel-good holiday classic somehow. It's become that thing, but the actual structure, you could argue, it's
like airtight.
Perfectly story structured. The problem is we have the Cinderella story, we have the Princess Diaries, we have the Parent Trap already, but what is it about this one that got made? I think
it is the gap in time between all of those other movies that came out where they were just like, I think we just need another one of these to lift people's spirits up.
Yeah, it's yep.
Even though Lifetime movies do that 10 times a week
Netflix,
every
so
December. I can't believe but that's where, do you think Netflix was like, we need our Lifetime vertical being filled?
They're not trying to be
100%.
They're trying to be TV. They're not trying to be a premier network. You know, it's just like, we want to get all of those verticals, all of those channels on our that feeling of that channel on our network.
And think about what Netflix has been focusing on, right? They have the extremes, right? They have their prestige where like they're trying to take the big swings, and then everything else is a ton of unscripted and a ton of low budget swings. So when we talk about the Lifetime movie, it's an aesthetic, it's a feeling, it's a script, right? Like, you know, it's going to be a love story, but it also is a type of production, because I unfortunately could not find the details of what the budget is. I guarantee you that this was a low budget, like maybe 16-day shoot. Like, they sped through this, and that's part of it. Like, we don't have time for fancy camera tricks. We're just gonna, it's like paint by numbers. Here are the beats, they're perfect. We're not gonna add any seasoning. Let's go. This is like the grilled chicken of movies.
Do you know, with no salt, do you know how I know this budget was so fucking low? Is because that castle was made out of fucking cardboard. Every practical set in this movie, the exteriors, the cabin they were staying at, the like little Christmas town, I was like, that is made out of paper. That is cardboard and paper.
Can I do you one better?
Yes,
you know how
please.
I know what the budget is
What?
that I, Zachary Kornfeld, noticed that the wardrobe department did my girl dirty. You're gonna tell me that this is a princess wish fulfillment movie, and that's what you're putting her in? Go off, Kelsey.
Zachary,
tell me.
in capital letters in my cons is Vanessa Hudgens ? In a plain pink t-shirt ? That is a fucking crime, bitch. I mean, down to the big the simple sweater, scarf, jacket moments of her walking through town, to the big princess dress that was, I'm sorry, looked like it came off a wish.com.
I swear to God, I wrote wish in my fucking notes. Oh my God. This is the wish. It's like, this is a wish fulfillment princess movie? No, it's a princess movie from wish.com.
Wish, yes. Like, that dress was...
I'm sorry.
You nailed
Just
it.
awful.
I'm sorry. I didn't notice
fucking
her
awful.
outfits because her eyes are up here.
I
So I'm so sorry.
I
sorry.
knew it. I knew
I'm
it.
sorry.
I knew Rick was going to be like, what are you guys talking about?
You know what the most egregious one was? Oh my God, this moment made me howl with laughter. It's okay, so she switched lives with the princess to be, and the prince is supposed to be out of town for 2 days, so she's not gonna have to do anything. And then her husband to be is like, no, I decided I'm gonna stay and we're gonna fall in love. It's gonna be wonderful, mate. And so they decide to go horseback. Yeah. They decide to go horseback riding, and it cuts to this slow motion out of focus shot where she comes into focus in the dorkiest fucking rider outfit with the little helmet, and we're supposed to go, oh wow, what was that?
You know, they thought they were fucking serving Kendall Jenner in her new like Fendi horse riding pants collection. They were like, this is hot. Bitch, you look like an American Girl doll. You look awful. It was so offensive to her. Her body is a body oddie. Like, she has got curves. They literally went and they stamped on like a paper dress, like on those paper fucking dolls to her in this movie.
Can we talk about the love interest? Because this movie serves us with two. We have
Can we please talk about Kevin
friend.
Richards?
We have her childhood best friend, Kevin, who is a snackety snack. And then we have Edward the Prince. You want to start with Kevin?
Garrick, go ahead. Say why Kevin Richards is so hot.
He looks...
Your whole theory.
I have a
Your
theory.
whole theory. Why is he so hot?
No. What is my theory?
No, it's because he's a single fucking dad.
I'm so sorry. I don't even know why. I didn't even.
I thought that was going to be your top comment.
I was so
You were
intrigued.
so entranced by the film.
Speak about that. But
Yep. Because I literally went,
holy shit,
if he
you're right.
wasn't a daughter, would he be as hot?
Dad.
And I went,
single dad,
no,
daughter, mom left. Immediately out.
Sweatpants.
He fucking
brushing the
bakes for a
teeth,
living.
just a
Oh
pal.
my God, that is straight out of a fucking Zane book, dog. Like, that's just
Oh my god.
He just casually has abs. Like, oh my god.
As a
Literally
baker,
lifting weights
no thanks.
all of the time. What are you lifting? What are you lifting? Flour?
Yep. No.
No.
Sacks of flour.
What I love too is that they gave him, like, for the first 30 minutes of the movie, they really gave him gay best friend vibes because he's totally non-sexual towards her at all. And he's like, what? She's my best friend. I've never even thought of her that way. And then all of a sudden you go, what? Oh my God, wait, what? You're straight? And and then they switch and then you fall in love and you're like, oh great, I want to hit it. Cyber Monday's coming up, and look, I know you're gonna do your normal thing, you're gonna go to the big distributors, but you can make a difference by supporting smaller businesses, right? They really need it. It helps them keep them alive. This Cyber Week, why don't you consider stopping by Boll & Branch? They are a family-run business that crafts the highest quality, toxin-free, pure, organic cotton sheets. In fact, Boll & Branch was the first fair trade certified bedding brand, and they give fair pay to every one of their farmers and factory workers. But beyond that, they're just comfortable. Their signature hem sheets are their all-time bestseller. They are beloved for so many reasons, like how they get softer with every single wash. This Cyber Week, gift your loved ones the best sleep of their lives, or treat yourself with Boll & Branch. Their holiday packaging and famously soft sheets, blankets, pillows, and more make a difference everyone will feel. Get 25% off from November 23rd through December 2nd with their best offer of the year at bollandbranch.com. That's 25% off at BOLLandbranch.com. Exclusions may apply. There's nothing cooler than seeing a child learn and grow as they explore the world around them. I don't have kids, but I do have friends with kids, and I love going over and watching their imagination in action as they unlock new ways of seeing the world. Little Passports offers award-winning play-based kits that fuel curiosity through fun, hands-on activities. Your kids are gonna love the feeling of discovery almost as much as you are gonna love watching them explore. I was watching Wes learn. I was learning, and it's so cool to have these hands-on, screen-free activities that inspire them to enjoy learning. Whether they're exploring the science of optical illusions or art in Spain, your child will love the feeling of discovering something new every month with a Little Passport subscription. This holiday, give the young explorer in your life a world of adventure. Get 20% off any new subscription with promo code GUILTY at littlepassports.com. Order by 12/20 for Christmas delivery. Free shipping included. That's littlepassports.com, promo code GUILTY.
My favorite part, and we were all laughing at this, like we kept being like, God damn, is when you realize like, oh, they're just best friends, platonic, straight best friends. But then Vanessa Hudgens is convincing the princess not to, there's no way she could possibly love fucking plain ass, regular ass, best friend ass guy. She's like throwing him, she's literally like, Kevin?
Right. And then she's like, have you ever seen Kevin with his shirt
Kevin.
off? Ew, no. And he's like, I think you should. I think you should because it'll change how you look at it.
And this poor man, we realized like obviously he thinks he has fallen in love with his best friend. Like he's fully doesn't know that. And I'm like, you've been best friends for 12 fucking years. And now you make the move? Like, no, bitch, you are always in it for the pussy, and be real with yourself. They really can't just be friends, men and women, because you're telling me for 12 years that motherfucker was waiting in the wings for her to be single.
Men and women can be friends, but they can't be attracted physically, or I don't know. Whatever. I don't want to get into men and women can't be friends debate.
Obviously.
But this movie presupposes, he says, like, she's just too intense. And it's like, no. That means that you think she's hot. You don't.
Yes.
Like, what are you talking about, dude?
Men and women can be friends non-sexually.
They can.
It's
like, look at us.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm repulsed by you two.
I think that.
But if I switch places with my twins, who was just a little bit different, you'd be like, oh my God, have you seen Zach with his shirt off?
I think that if the attraction happened and then it was at the beginning and then nothing happened, 100%.
Yes. But they fucked the first month that they met, for sure. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, on the other side of the love dichotomy, we have Prince Edward, or as Kelsey said, Mr. Plainface. And
Mr. Plainface.
Look, he does nothing for me. It's a big problem I have with the movie. I don't think that he is a lust-worthy prince at all.
And neither is his personality. Like it's not like a redeeming quality where he's like a rebellious prince where you're like, fuck, you hate your parents and you want to like become a liberal prince and fuck shit up and start a revolution. Like that makes me attracted to you. He had zero agency. He had zero desires for himself. Everything was sparked by Vanessa Hudgens' American character that like gave him the idea to be a better person. And I was like, not even a British accent made me want to fuck him, which is very hard to do.
Accents add a lot of fuckability points. I mean, Garrick, I know you were quite enamored with Miss Hudgens in this film. So how do you feel about the prince?
That's what I was saying. The prince was a good looking guy. And I was like, I liked him.
You liked him?
As soon as I saw his face, I was like, I mean, it's a very plain face. In the same way where you can't, it's plain enough to where you can't get any features wrong. So by definition, he is attractive. You know, where everybody's just like, oh, this person has a symmetrical face and all that stuff. There are no flaws there. It's just like, yeah.
But you know what Netflix has been doing to us? They've been giving us motherfucking Noah Centineo. They've been giving us fucking
Kissing Booth homie. What was his name?
Yeah, a fucking tall boy that beats the shit out of people in Euphoria. Like, they've been giving us like ravaging, like weird, large featured. I mean, listen, I am attracted to a strange type of man now because of media. I don't think it's your cookie cutter, sugar cookie, plain face boy anymore.
He's plain face, but also like I'm on Team Kelsey here. His personality in the film does not make him hot, right? There's nothing interesting about him. You know how I know that he ain't that? I feel bad because he's like a real human and we're saying that he's not hot. No, we're saying that you're a handsome man and your character is not hot. But I just looked him up on Instagram, 286,000 followers.
He's been in one movie.
But that's not huge. That's not,
I'm saying though.
Off this movie.
Fucking Noah Centineo, 8 million. You know, all these fucking people, you get in one of those, you skyrocket up. So the people, they love this movie, but they're not lusting after him.
Because For All the Boys was more of like an original, like fresh take on a love story. That's why people more people were gravitated towards that film.
I'm just looking at his Instagram now. He's more handsome in real life. I'm just fucking looking at this handsome man. I'm looking at our prince.
What's his name? Because I wanna try and slide into the DMs just for the story of it.
Sam Palladio, Pallad. Oh, he's British in real life. He's a singer-songwriter.
There he is.
Oh my God, he's a dad.
A single dad?
Oh no, he's a dog dad. I think he's married. I don't know.
That's still pretty hot.
All right, we're gonna stop talking about this real person.
He's got a whippet. All right, whatever. I'll respectfully slide in at another time.
Respectfully, after we called him plain face. That's great. I love this. I wrote down in big letters, Kevin over Edward. I believe that with all my heart.
Yeah.
Are we aligned here?
Kevin leans more towards that weirder face person that Kelsey was just talking about. Well, not weird. He doesn't have a weird face, but it's definitely more unique.
Unique. I don't know anyone that looks like him. Like I remember what he looks like anytime
smile. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And you know what? I'm also Team Kevin Richards because tell me that motherfucker didn't luck out by thinking he was falling in love with his broke ass, regular ass baker friend and then married a bajillionaire princess. Like good for him. His daughter gets to be in the ballet now for free for the rest of her life.
I did also write the most unrealistic part of this movie is that at the end, this fucking aristocrat goes, I would like to be middle class.
I think that is the... Okay, so my whole thing with this whole movie and this whole style of movie is that when they switch, right? The princess is switching because she's saying, yo, none of this matters. My life fucking sucks and I don't like it. I want to be normal. Mm-hmm. And then the person that she's switching with is now being a princess and being like, oh, this is great, I guess. No, it's not. You're going to hate it too. Why would you? Of course, like I'm guessing, I'm hoping that in part 2, because there is a part 2, that she realizes that she hates it. She hates the duty of it. She doesn't like being around these stuffy ass people.
And on the other side, there's nothing rich folks love more than going downtown and slumming it with the poor. Am I right?
Yep. What's it from? Hamilton. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think that's our third Hamilton reference in a month.
So I have a lot of questions about some kind of throwaway details in this plot, and that's what happens when you do these plot contrivances, but it opens up the can of worms. So first, I want to talk about this creepy-ass old man who seems to be pulling the strings.
Yeah,
who the fuck is this guy? This horny old creepy man.
I had no idea who he was, and I was trying to come up with a theory, and I was like, I don't know, maybe this dude was in The Prince and the Pauper or in It Takes Two or Trading Places. I don't know.
I'm going to tell you who he was.
Maybe he wrote.
Can you tell people the details of him before we reveal?
Okay. Yes, he was a very ugly, squishy old man who is apparently time travels, because first he shows up in Chicago and it's like, what's your Christmas wish? And then all of a sudden she gets into Belgravia competition and she runs into her ex-boyfriend. She goes to Belgravia, and then this man is popping up not only in the toy store as an employee, but then he works for the rich family. And you're like, who is this magic man that keeps pushing this love forward? And I have an answer for you.
Did you watch Lost? He's like Jacob in fucking season 5, season 6. He's just there touching all the characters, gently thrusting them towards their destiny. Who
was
do you
Jacob
think he
the
is?
old guy?
Kinda. It's
not
a
important.
Whole thing.
He is the spirit of Christmas, and that's it. He's the spirit of Christmas. He doesn't have a name. He doesn't have a face. He's a faceless man, just like in Game of Thrones. He is just there to facilitate connections that normally wouldn't happen in a movie, because things don't happen the way they do in real life, which is like you fucking meet him on Bumble, you fuck him one night, and then you never talk to him again. You keep self-sabotaging until you go to therapy for like 13 years, and then you finally maybe have like some sort of cute meet cute. But no, you need the ghost of Spirit Christmas to show you the way.
Garrick would say, I think it's called lazy writing.
He didn't even need to be in the movie. Those are all scenes that you could have cut to save me 15 minutes out of my life. You know, like, why would he... Sure, he's pushing things along, but things that were already going to happen regardless.
He genuinely didn't change anything.
We're not dumb. We know that we have the suspension of disbelief that these people would run into each other most of the time.
We are kind of dumb, though, Garrick. I think we're watching this movie because we want to be dumb. I see it on both. I think that we want a character in this film to tell us exactly what's happening.
Yeah, but
sometimes.
also those 4 bros in Kelsey's apartment guessed perfectly what the movie was gonna be. So I'm saying that we're not as dumb as you think.
First of all, it was one lady and 2 bros, and we're in a cabin in the Catskills, and it's Christmassy as fuck up here.
Okay, that sounds beautiful, honestly.
I had a darker theory of this. So the movie opens and we see this old man, right? And then all of a sudden we go to Belgravia and there he is again. And she goes, do I know you? And he's like, well, that would be impossible. How would I be over there? And then, so there's 2 of these guys, right? One in Chicago, one in Belgravia. And then there's 2 Vanessa Hudgens, right? One here, one in Belgravia. And I think it's like the movie Us. Jordan Peele's Us, okay? And these are their their European tethers.
Oh
and it's like bong, 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 bong. And it's actually, the entire movie is an extended metaphor for, say it with me, children, colonialism. Colonialism. And the continued impact that it has on the world, and how we lust after these monarchy stories because we still live in a colonial world, even in the modern times. Are you with me?
I actually weirdly fucking am. I'm sorry to Jordan Peele for that statement, but yes, I'm weirdly with you.
One of the greatest trailers of all time, I would say.
I want to see this movie recut as a horror movie, because especially from the perspective of the little girl, fucking terrifying for the first 30 minutes. Can we talk about that?
I mean,
you're different.
She has no idea Your feet smell different.
I feel like you smell
She
better.
comes downstairs and this expert baker is burning breakfast. They have this secret handshake and she fucks
From the
it up.
Parent Trap.
It's literally
They
a beat
didn't even
stolen.
try to make it
They didn't
different
even
from the
so-
Parent Trap
yeah.
handshake. I know.
Well,
I
they
was
know.
like,
They
guys,
know they're playing homage. I think they know their influences.
Were they?
Yeah. Yeah. That's like a scene from the movie. There's no way that's not paying
know.
homage.
Is it the exact same handshake? Is it literally the
It's-
same one?
I don't.
The only thing they're missing is the this and the
And the
butt tap.
da-na-na,
Yeah.
the da-na-na-na-na-na. But that happens, right? I come downstairs and like my godmother is a different person. That's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or my
I'd
favorite
like to hear the
person.
explanation. They skirted around the moment where she reveals to her that she is a different person, and they just cut to, oh look, now we've kind of thrown this, I don't know what the fuck it's called when they do that plot skip, but they really just they missed some good opportunities for like some actual drama, and they just gave us formula.
Speaking of moments stolen from other movies, so we have the handshake stolen from The Parent Trap. There's a literal, so It Takes Two. I don't know if you guys know about how much I'm talking about it. It is like one of my true childhood favorite movies. We will do it on the show in the future.
We should do it.
I think it is the superior twin swap movie. I fucking love Mary-Kate and Ashley. I stand by it. I will throw down. But they steal the piano scene as well, where she has to play like literally exact beat. Except Mary-Kate and Ashley are supreme comedic actors, and Vanessa Hudgens just kind of sits there and they do like a little cute romance scene.
I forgot about that.
At first I thought, oh, maybe he knows who she is and he's covering for her. No, he didn't. It was deeply condescending, where she's presented as this incredibly gifted piano player, and the way that they cover it, he goes, oh, you just play these 4 notes and I'll do the rest. It's like, I'm sorry, what, motherfucker?
Yeah, I thought you were
I did
the best
think,
in the land, or so on and so forth. And I thought that was a moment where he could have started figuring it out and then being like, I think I'm okay with this because I like whoever this person is, and I'm looking at everything through rose-colored glasses. And that would have been dope. That would have been 100% a little different. It would have been more Parent Trappy, sure, but it would have been it would have been nice.
And they did the same thing with him that they did with the little girl, where they skipped over the moment of the reveal so that they could just keep driving the plot forward. Like when she's like, I need to tell you something. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm finally going to watch her tell him that this has been a ruse this whole time. And then it doesn't. It cuts to the baking show where then you watch it happen in real time, which I think, again, it's exactly like what Garrick's saying. There were these little moments that they could have acted out and shot through that would have made me think like, hey, there's the chops. There's the acting chops. Maybe they did shit it. Maybe it's on the cutting room floor. I don't know. The biggest con for me, and this truly, I don't think it would have changed the movie if they just would have gone with the truth on this. So I don't know why they like lied to us as the audience on this one as well. But the fucking cake judge decision, where they are up against another apparently like cunty American couple who's like won last year.
This
our
is the
Vanessa
big climax,
girl,
the
big judging moment, and it's like our Vanessa girl and her sous chef make this very cute, but like, come on, very regularly tiered, round Christmas, like 10-story cake, which like you could see that on any of Duff City Cakes, like any day of the week in New Jersey at Carlo's.
But real quick timeout, all of the cakes at the end, they had what, 3 hours? They make skyscrapers.
5 hours. 5.
Am I crazy, or is that not enough time to do what they all
It's
did?
plenty of time. No,
Is
if
it?
you ever
Fuck,
walked
I'm just a
a
terrible
baking
bake,
show, oh my God, you've clearly never watched
sorry, how much time did
fucking Cake Boss. Plus like 3 days of prep. Like, I'm sorry, that means you've been practicing baking this 20-layer cake for like many weeks.
5 hours is literally just putting everything together, baking things, and then putting it together.
Yes. Which you do every day of your life
all of
anyway.
Our viewers know that I don't know anything about baking.
Anything about cakes.
They like it that way.
Or what are they called? Doyle's? No.
Dowels?
Dowels, yes. You don't know about dowels either, which really makes me LOL. But my biggest fucking complaint is that this other cunty American couple, well, yes, they were supposed to be the villains for no fucking reason. They made a Christmas ornament ball stacked cake
was
that
stunning.
literally defies the laws of dowels and gravity.
Nah.
And they
was
are
like
Christmas
zigzaggy
ornament balls
Nope.
stacked on top of it.
Nope.
Sparkly.
Nope.
Bitch, how dare you give that second
We've
place?
seen that on Great British Bake Off
Where?
all of the time. All
You've
they do,
seen that?
Yeah, all they do is put a fucking long wire through it that kind of curves and then puts the balls on top of the wire so that you have
So
the
Garrick
frame.
has watched baking shows.
Yeah, I have. I didn't say I didn't. It was fucking Zach. Fucking Zach said he never watched Great British Bake Off. I've watched several seasons of that bitch. Like, what the
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair
apologize.
enough. I can't believe it. Don't apologize. I'm wrong. You clearly fucking know what you're talking about. But you really thought like a 20-tiered plain ass rectangle cake was more worthy than that?
No, they should have lost. They still should have
Okay.
lost. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I am not.
I mean, they made a point of making every other cake just awful, right? Like
Yeah.
the German duo that won
Like a
had like this
merry-go-round.
brown cake, which like motherfucker.
Yeah,
making a
they
brown,
love
like-
to shit on
like,
Germans. I was in Germany for a second. Beautiful country.
Well,
it's
Germany's
yeah, but
great.
the Germans kind of like did fuck over everyone
That is
for
fair.
a while.
Yeah, but you know
Yeah.
what? But they redeemed themselves so hard. They're like the coolest
trying
place in
to
the world right
redeem
now.
themselves. They did not redeem
Yeah.
themselves yet. As a Jewish man,
Great point. As the Jewish man, there's no making it. But I will say right now, we're the supervillains of the world, and they're the fucking dope heroes.
Oh.
I would say
Yeah.
Germany is way cooler than us right now.
oh, Americans.
I said it.
Oh, you
I
said
said
American.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not Jews.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you guys are still being prosecuted. I think you should. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
There's that special moment when you receive a gift that you're truly excited about. You open it up and you go, wow, this is just what I needed. And Third Love has made being the good gifter easier than ever. With their range of premium everyday essentials, it makes gifting for the women in your life effortless. I'm gonna be a holiday rock star this year because I'm getting Maggie some Third Love. Third Love just fits right, it's comfortable. It's a bra that finally feels right. Or so the women in my life tell me. They have an online fitting store that helps you finally get the right size bra for you. Third Love is bringing comfort from the sheets to the streets with the softest sleepwear, luxe washable silk, and bras that you are not gonna wanna take off when you get home. The people in my life don't lie. They refuse to wear anything else. They cannot believe that they've gone this long without having Third Love in their life. It's making me a little jealous. Fueling is believing. Upgrade to everyday pieces that love your body as much as you do. Right now, you can get 20% off your first order at thirdlove.com/guilty. That is 20% off at thirdlove.com/guilty.
Okay, but like adding to my point of those villains were kind of unnecessary. I have another
sure.
like villainous moment that I think was a little weird. Like, so when they switch, the royal family starts to notice that our princess to be is acting a little strange. But by strange, she's being a better person. She's like going to charities. She's making your son like more out of his shell and happier. And they're like, absolutely not will we allow our son to be happy. This can only be done for duty and not love. And I'm like, why were his parents so mean
But I mean,
about
it's
it?
the same shit with what's happening with my girl in London,
Kate Middleton and
Meghan Markle, where it's just like they left because of whatever the inner workings of the duty are that we're not seeing. Where she was like, yo, I gotta get this was nice, I like you, but we need to get the fuck out of here because they're.
And props to him for leaving. Like, that white guy did not have to leave.
Yeah, there was also this princess of Japan that was just like, I'm just gonna marry a regular person so that I can get rid of, not because I love this dude, but also I want to get rid of this
my duties.
Yeah, my duties. So it's just like there's.
I love
bad
though,
people.
and you are right. In this movie, the king is like, "Do you think she's acting a bit liberated as a woman?
Right.
She has. Would you say that she has more opinions today than she did yesterday?"
It's very strange.
Which I guess is very true to life. Like, they want to put a lid on
Yeah.
it. They want to put the cap on the women. Like, for sure. But
And that also.
Do you find it curious that she has personality today?
yes, she spoke.
Which, what an indictment on the princess version of
Yes,
her.
because the princess version of
that's
her,
why
I feel like when she is liberated, she does have this more freewheeling and free-minded lifestyle. So that just means that Kevin was in love with his friend. He just didn't get the opportunity to fall in love with his friend. And now that he's meeting her again for the first time.
Aww.
Yeah. So,
That's a good way of
Garrick
putting
believes
it.
in true love.
Yeah.
yeah, I think that Kevin is in love with his buddy and didn't know how to explain it because he hasn't gone to therapy yet. Whatever.
We were talking about baking before. I'm curious. Do you believe in Vanessa Hudgens as a baking ingenue?
No.
Because
We
where
didn't see
we
her
meet
bake
her...
once.
I barely believe in
Okay, there it is, no.
Vanessa Hudgens in any role that she's ever.
And because like in the beginning of the movie, we meet her like she's like the fucking hot baker in Chicago. She's what? She's 28 when this movie
Yeah.
starts. Do you know how good you have to? Do you know how expensive real estate is in Chicago
yeah.
to be the top dog? Like, I'm sorry, bro. And she went to Cordon Bleu. Like, it ain't
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
And
It's
like
not
an international reporter recognizes her in another country
Yeah.
as the baker from Chicago. Like, this girl is fucking. This girl is living in a penthouse.
Yeah.
This girl has her own Food Network show.
She could also be. He could also just notice her because he was covering the competition as well, where he's just like, "This is something that I write about, and you're the one. You're the new girl.
You're the best kept secret in Chicago, dearie.
Yeah. So it could have been that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Wait, I did forget to say, like, the one biggest guilt of this movie, plot-wise, is that the princess's reasoning for wanting to be a regular gal, no one knew what she fucking looked like. So why didn't she just put on a fucking hat and scarf and go be a regular fucking person if she had never been seen in public or never been
I think she needed a
photographed.
replacement. So this is the airtightness of this script showing, where it's just like every time you try to poke a hole, there is something that you can really explain away with like 2 steps of thought, where it's just like,
though she needed a replacement.
She needed somebody to pose as her.
She couldn't just sneak out.
Because she isn't
And you
a
know
liberated
why?
woman. She had to be under close watch.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was a very good explanation, Garrick.
And you know why there's a really good explanation? Because this movie, and this is my biggest guilt, the first 10 minutes especially, it is an exposition machine.
Oh my
This movie just grabs the microphone and goes,
This is Vanessa Hudgens. She just got out of this breakup, and then and now she's a great baker, and she's gonna do all these things.
like,
Yeah.
it fucking tells you everything.
Yeah.
And like literally the introduction, she's like, hey, it's me, your favorite goddaughter. You're my only goddaughter. Okay, that's their relationship. It's like, oh my God. It just fucking it puts all the plot on this giant spoon and shoves it down your fucking throat and says, eat up, bitch. What did I write down? Oh, you know, the other thing that drove me insane is at the opening, I wrote, okay, wait. She was in this 3-year relationship with Paul, who's another plain-faced motherfucker. Like, Vanessa Hudgens,
plain.
she's too hot in this movie to be with these plain-faced, like, give her some, like,
is she
fucking
dating?
hunky-ass. But they were in a 3-year relationship, and she goes, Christmas was a really special time for us. Which is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Christmas was a Christmas is a time for families, not a
And for
time
3
for
years?
you and your 3-year boyfriend? What
Yeah.
the fuck? And they did that because they wanted to just very efficiently say her life is sad and also she's single.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only reason
Yeah.
you do that.
Also,
That she can't get over anyone.
and this is fucking going back to the whole Vanessa Hudgens of it all. The girl that Paul is dating instead of Vanessa Hudgens,
Criminal.
I would have if I was Vanessa Hudgens, I would have seen who she was with, who
I
Paul
would've
was
laughed.
with, and I would have been like, "Good job, buddy. You fucking loser." I'm gonna
I
go.
would have taken Paul aside
Yeah.
and been like, buddy,
Are you okay?
Are you feeling okay?
Are you okay?
I'm Vanessa fucking
Yeah.
Hudgens.
My friend Lacey, who I was watching this with before the woman walked out, she goes, she's going to walk out and be the whitest plainest bitch of all time. Yeah. And I was like, no, they're gonna make her a stunner. And sure enough, plainest, sweetest, roundest,
the plainest, like. Vanessa Hudgens is so Vanessa Hudgens that the three of us are just willfully ignoring the fact that she said that COVID didn't matter at the beginning of the pandemic. And we're like, who cares? This movie's fun.
Just so you know, Vanessa Hudgens is currently dating
some baseball
Major
guy.
League Baseball. Oh, you already know this,
Yes, I know. Of course I know. You think I didn't Google? Oh, it was the first Google suggestion.
Just the fact that you thought you could slide into Vanessa Hudgens is the end.
Here's the thing. Everyone, there's leagues, right? I believe this truly. Like, there are people who are out of my league, but everyone also has a type. And then once I see that someone's dating an athlete, I go, okay, great. We will just never beat. Because your type is something that I will never be, and that's fine.
Your type is elite. That's it. It's an elite athlete.
Yeah. No, it's literally like
otherworldly.
Yeah. Like better genetics, better everything, better bank account,
I get it.
Better
that's just
features.
Hey, when you want someone nice who will make you laugh, I'll be here.
Just hanging out.
You know, here's another thing that pisses me off in this movie. Fucking guilt to princess movies in general, because it creates an unrealistic expectation for us men in the relationship, because the way that the prince is just always planning these exquisite dates, he's worrying about global affairs and diplomacy, but meanwhile he's like, I got us a horseback ride this morning, and I charted us this thing this morning, and I cleared our schedule. They say schedule the whole time. They don't say schedule like normal fucking people.
The amount of times they said the word schedule was unnecessary. Listen, I'm telling you both what to do. Get a fucking helicopter or a plane or first class, spend a lot of money, fly your girl to fucking Europe and let her go shopping. For both of you, that's all we fucking want one time in our life.
Did you say helicopter to Europe?
Yeah.
Okay, listen, it would be a very big helicopter. Okay? I'm telling
Apache
you both.
Helicopter to Europe. You know, the last thing that I think is worth mentioning is the scene where they first saw each other. They have like a little moment where they look into the mirror and they go, like they look as if they should be shocked, and then have no
reaction,
shock whatsoever.
No reaction.
They don't scream.
Our room full of bros erupted into fury after that moment of like, we're not gonna fucking address what just happened there.
Yeah.
We look exactly the fucking same. What?
I gotta watch the sequel to know how they're related. Is there a third? Like, what could possibly be the princess switches again? What could it possibly be about?
What would make them need to re-switch? I must know. Who's switching though, and why?
Yeah.
Is there a third one?
Somebody's probably.
Is there a third?
I think there's a triplet.
That would be so fun if they go somewhere else and they're like, whoa, what? Yeah. And there's another twin, and then we get to see Vanessa Hudgens do Cockney, or like Vanessa Hudgens do a German accent.
I'll let you know after tonight, because I'm 100% watching it again.
Imagine Vanessa Hudgens it's fucking the Spider-Verse of Vanessa Hudgens princesses. Yeah. So we have American Vanessa Hudgens. We have British Vanessa Hudgens, German. We have Russian Vanessa Hudgens.
I would love for it to be an aggressive version of Three Identical Strangers, where it's just like, whoa, we don't have one is a princess. What is a fucking Chicago baker, and the third one dies? Yes, absolutely.
Third one ain't doing so high. Murdering psychopath.
Yeah. Third one could use some money.
Yeah.
Can I tease you a little bit? I just read the synopsis for the sequel, and it's Duchess Margaret unexpectedly inherits the throne to Montenegro and hits a rough patch with boyfriend Kevin at the same time. Wait for it. It's up to her double Princess Stacy to get the star-crossed lovers back together, which means, do you think that regular Stacy's gonna fuck her best friend's prince? What do you mean?
Wait, you're telling me my beautiful Kevin gets dumped?
No, I think Stacy is gonna fuck Kevin to somehow get them back together.
I'm in. I can't wait.
Because she's gonna go back and be the princess and fuck him back into submission of being in love.
And by the way, shame on me as the synopsizer for not mentioning that her name is Lady Margaret Delacourt, Duchess of Montenaro. I'm so sorry. I failed you,
I mean, you already said Duchess of
Dirty
Montero,
horse.
so is that.
Yeah, there you
got
go.
it.
The Duchess of
We
Montero.
knew
She calls
it
her
was
by her name.
American accent one and not in British one. We're
There
fine.
you go. There are not really any fun facts for this movie, so I had to do more work than normal, and I've got to. One, in the final scene, you can see when Vanessa Hudgens is clapping for... Okay, British Vanessa Hudgens is clapping for American Vanessa Hudgens, who gets married. She brings her hand up, and you can see Vanessa Hudgens' real-life hand tattoo, because even the people making this movie said, let's just fucking wrap it up.
Damn, they really missed that in the edit.
I think that they were like, well, it's a close-up. We don't need to worry about that. And then Vanessa just improvised this little woo, and they're like, oh, that's fun. Keep it in. And then the editor, like one of the assistant editors was like, should we tell them that there's a hand? And they're like, nah, who fucking cares? We're getting paid by like.
I
dollars.
hope
Let's
it
just get
says
outta here."
something like Thug Life or something. Is
I think it's like a 3 or whatever. Holy shit, you guys. By the way, a little follow-up from last week. I got a DM from someone who worked on Cats. And this person worked in the sound department, did confirm that everyone hated working with Tom Hooper, that it was just a nightmare experience. Shout out to our listener. I will not name you for anonymity, but she shared that some of her coworkers, they noticed Judi Dench's ring, and they decided to say nothing because they were like, fuck you.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Sticking
Pretty
to
good.
the man.
You got a bonus Cats fun fact in this.
Yeah, that was fun fact.
And then this is, to me, a truly fun fact, is that this movie, we've talked about a lot of Rotten Tomatoes scores on this show. And this movie has a 71%
I saw that.
because the critics decided, you know what, fuck it, let's move the goalposts.
Yeah.
We know what this is, and we know what it's trying to be.
The fact that they say that this movie is better than critically acclaimed Jumper is truly insane. I do not understand.
I will back you the fuck up on that
Sci-fi
forever.
masterwork.
I want to tell you some movies around it because I was able to find a way to look at other movies with the same score.
Yeah.
So this movie, The Princess Switch, has the same score as David Fincher's The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Oh my God.
Wow.
This movie, The Princess Switch, by critics, is 1% behind Forrest Gump.
What?
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, nobody was
This
paying,
movie
nobody was paying
is-
attention 100% when they were
Yeah.
reviewing
Is
this.
1% better than Tim Burton's Batman.
Of course.
It has the same score as sci-fi classic Soylent Green.
Never
Princess
saw that one.
Switch
Yeah.
is a fucking classic. What can we
It's
say?
a
The critics
Christmas
agree.
classic now. It is to be added to the list of the greats, you know, the fucking Holiday, fucking Home Alone, and the Princess Switch.
This is one of the better movies that we've reviewed on the show.
Yeah, this actually goes
Princess-
against our rule,
Okay, but
which
by
is
your
it has to
opinion
be
or by rating?
By rating.
by
Okay,
rating.
okay. This is, I need to get on my high horse, okay? I need to just, like Vanessa Hudgens, flop right over that motherfucker. Guys, Rotten Tomatoes cannot be wholly trusted for your movie watching opinions. It's a great tool, but it is
Yeah.
just an aggregate of yes or no. And so they are judging based, like, if you hear word of mouth and people say that you trust, like a movie, go fucking watch it because the score means nothing. That's something that drives me crazy with a lot of my friends.
You know what? Speaking of IMDb or whatever, I did end up downloading that website that you had told us that people ask, why don't we have one where we talk about the movies we've seen?
Letterboxd.
Letterboxd. I now have a letterbox, so go
Oh,
follow me on
yeah.
Letterboxd.
Well, hey, we got to decide. Is this movie a pleasure, guilty pleasure, just plain guilty?
Zachary Andrew, how dare you even ask? It's a guilty pleasure.
It's a guilty pleasure.
It's
the
truly a
definition.
definition of a guilty pleasure because you just feel so warm when you're watching the movie, even though it's cold outside. It just, and yet I'm like, there's no way that anybody had any notes on this because they were just like, this is a cut and paste. Who gives a shit? Put it out. Nobody cares. We're making a budget. We got Vanessa Hudgens. What more do you want? I feel like this movie...
That's where the budget went.
This movie is proof that the American film system is wholly based off of people's faces and not so much based off of stories. Because I watched the fuck out of this movie and then I woke up and I was like, what did I just watch? I have no idea because I was so entranced. Anyway.
I had dreams
sometimes
about
empty calories are good.
Yeah, sometimes
you know?
I love a good Cheeto, you know?
Yeah.
You see the tray of donuts and you go, I know I shouldn't, but today I want to.
I'm gonna do it.
Even just thinking about this movie makes me want to have a little Christmas tree Little Debbie, and I'm going to go get one right after we hang up.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right, nothing more to say. Guys, have a happy motherfucking Thanksgiving. Happy holidays and all that stuff. Next week, we will be watching Pitch Perfect 3. We're going right to the third one. Our good friend Lord DIY is returning to the pod. I'm at Corn Diddy on all the things. Ho, ho, ho.
I'm Kelsey Darragh on all the things. Ho, ho, ho.
I'm Garrick Bernard on all of the things. Ho, ho, ho.
And until next time, I wrote this
Stay
quote down.
guilty.
I love you more than I've ever loved anyone in my whole life. Bitch, you known him for 2 days.
2 fucking days.
2 days. And I like when she said, I'm a regular girl. I have to marry a regular man.
No, you're not.